Okay, we're in Module 2, Lesson 2, Compare Rational Numbers on a Number Line. And this is on Step It Out. There's no build understanding on this one. So our I can statement is, I can compare positive and negative rational numbers using a number line. So let's look at it. They got 9 out of 10. That's pretty good. You can compare fractions by graphing them on a number line. Mrs. Smith and Mr. Jones each have 30 students in their class. If Mrs. Smith corrected 3/4 of last week's math assignments and Mr. Jones corrected 5/8 of last week's science assignments, which teacher corrected the greater portion of the assignments? So let's see what we need to do. Anytime you see this little button over here, this is the refresh guy. This little I says click for tip. And they didn't put anything on there yet, which is weird. What marks on a number line would you need to graph 3/4 and 5/8? So these 8 and 4, those are the denominators. They need to be the same for this to work. But we can change 4 into 8 because we can do 4 times 2 is 8. So both fractions can be written with the denominator of 8. I can use marks that increase by 8s. Let's check it. Since both fractions can be written with the denominator of 8, use marks that increase by 8s. Now we're going to graph the fractions. So 3/4, to put it on the number line, we need to multiply it by 2. So if we multiply the bottom by 2, we have to multiply the top by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that's going to be at the 6th line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3/4 is going to go right here. And that means 5/8 will go right here because that's where the 5 line was. So let's check it. Okay, the tick marks divide the number lines into 8s. So 5/8 is located 1 tick mark to the right of a half. And 3/4 is located 2 tick marks to the right of 1/2. Because when we multiply 3/4 to get the denominator to 8, we multiplied by 2, making it 6/8. What are the locations of the fractions on the number line? The fraction 3/4 is to the blank of 5/8. So if we look up here, 3/4 is to the right of 5/8 on the number line. So 3/4 is greater than 5/8. Let's check it out. The values increase on the number line from left to right because 3/4 is to the right of 5/8. 3/4 is the greater fraction. And now we're going to choose correct inequality to describe the problem. So we said 3/4 is greater than 5/8. So we have that right there because this sign is greater than. Choose the correct statement to describe the problem. Mrs. Smith corrected a lesser portion of the assignments to Mr. Jones. Mrs. Smith corrected a greater portion of assignments than Mr. Jones. Or Mrs. Smith corrected the same portion. Okay, and because we said it was greater up here, we're going to click the greater one right there. Let's look at our next one. Use the number line to help you write an inequality comparing negative 5/8 and negative 3/4. So if you need to scroll back up, all the way up here and look at the number line, you can. Since negative 3/4 is to the blank of negative 5/8 on the number line, negative 3/4 is blank to negative 5/8. So if we look at our number line, positive 3/4 is here. So negative 3/4 would be right here. Negative 5/8 would be right here. So negative 3/4 is farther to the left-hand side. Remember, numbers on the left are less than. Step it out still. You can also compare decimals using a number line. The record low temperature of 5 cities are Ashton at negative 0.6 degrees Fahrenheit, Bars at negative 1.7 degrees Fahrenheit, Carl at 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit, Davison 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and Edgeville at negative 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to graph the temperature of each city on the number line using the first letter of the city's name. So we're going to start with A, and they're at negative 0.6. So we are right here. B is bars, negative 1.7. So hold on one second. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So B is going to go right here. C for Carl is 0.7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So C is going to go right there. D, Davison at 0.4. So the only positive one right there we saw was that one. So we're going to drag a D. Then we're going to drag an E for Edgeville at negative 1.5 over here. Let's check it out. Note the location of the numbers for bars and Edgeville on the number line. So we have bars right here and Edgeville. Negative 1.7 is to the bars is right here, Edgeville is here. Negative 1.7 is right here, so it's to the left of negative 1.5 on the number line. So bars temperature is colder than the low temperature in Edgeville. Complete both inequalities correctly. So we said negative 1.7 is colder than, so that means it's less than negative 1.5. But if we put negative 1.5 first, it's going to turn into greater than. Okay, and that's all there was with that one.